get our attention.
Hello, everybody. If I could have your attention, please. Hi, my name is Abby Jansen, and I'm a senior at Canton High School, and also this year's SJ5K 2017 student coordinator. It's really great to see all of you out here today. If you would all please stand, one of our 2016 recipients, Ms. Sharon Lang, will be singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you so much, Ms. Lang, for that wonderful opening to our 2017 SJ5K ceremony. Today, we have come together as a community to support the 7 different families you see in front of you: the Barnes, Gorgeffen, Todd, Verdugo, Volkuski, Wilburn, and Wilson families. That said, I'd like to start by saying some thank yous to all the people who have made this year's race possible. Thank you to all of our participants for coming to the race today to support these families. Without all of you, we wouldn't really have a 5K happening. Thank you to all of our incredibly generous sponsors, many of whom are here today. Thank you to all of the school and district staff and all of the buildings in the district, as well as for being incredibly supportive of our cause and going out of their way to provide us with the help we need. Our teachers, secretaries, maintenance, and a myriad of other people. Thank you to all of the incredible groups and teams who have partnered with us this year to help raise support for our cause. And thank you to all of our awesome volunteers who have helped along the way. Thank you to all of our wonderful past families, many of whom are present here today as well. Thank you to Jesse Littlebauer, an amazing graphic artist, and also the J in SJ5K, who designed the logo printed on this year's t-shirts. Thank you to a very special group of adults who have gone above and beyond and out of their way to help myself and others grow as student leaders throughout the planning of this event. Thank you to the 7 families standing behind me today, who are all incredibly inspiring and remarkably strong. And lastly, I'd like to thank my fellow student leadership team. I couldn't have hoped for a better set of peers to take on this endeavor. And now, I'd like to welcome one of those very adults I mentioned previously, Mrs. Barb Lindelbauer.
I introduced you guys to the brains behind the SJ5K Tommy Halowitz. This year, I want to introduce you to the heart behind it. Beth, where are you? Where is she? She's not gonna hide. This is gonna take a while if you don't show your face. Where is she? There she is! Beth has been, there would be no 5K without Beth. So she needed a little intro, and I know she won't get all the way over here, but Beth, you are the heart of the 5K. Oprah Winfrey said, to move forward, you have to give back. This community is largely made up of people who have much. Nice homes and cars, good jobs, and health insurance. We also have great schools and community resources. And some people might take that for granted, but many of you don't. Many of you realize that as fate would have it, you are lucky to be the ones in the crowd instead of those standing beside me. You realize these things could easily have happened to you or your loved ones, and so you do something. You continue year after year to come to the SJ5K. Because of the support of so many people, Jessie still continues to make improvements. This year, to my amazement, Jessie has gotten back into graphic arts. He has such a creative mind, and his hands have finally improved enough for him to express it with an amazing program called Illustrator. He has been taking graphic arts at classes in Washtenaw Community College, and he wanted to do something to give back, so he created the 5K logo this year. Much has been given to Jessie and our family from this amazing community. I will never in a million years be able to give back what has been given to us, but I will never stop coming to do what I can to support the newest recipients of the SJ5K year after year. And as Jessie and our family continue to move forward, we will never forget to reach back and lend a hand to those in our community most in need of our support. Nothing is out of reach when we come together. Thank you for coming year after year. You have done so much.
All right, next I'd like to introduce Lynn Wolkuski and Regina Wilburn, two individuals supported by this year's race.
Teamwork. It's when a group of people gather together, fueled by commitment and encouragement to harness the power to accomplish which that could not be accomplished individually. The SJ5K team, the power it brings, accomplishes for me and my two girls which would be impossible for us to do on our own. God bless.
Good morning, everybody. Nothing is out of reach when we come together. Tupac Shakur said, "I am a reflection of my community." I would like to take that a step further and say, and pluralize his I to we are a reflection of the community. Like Mrs. Linda Bauer said, you are sitting out there watching us. I too used to be the person sitting in the crowd. I've worked the SJ5K every year with my family. We can't express how humbled we are to be a recipient and quite frankly surprised. We didn't expect this, as I'm sure no one up here did. The Linda Bauers have been amazing in their support and what they've done for us. My only thing that makes me extremely sad is that in the year of superheroes, I am not a superhero so that I can go back and heal all of these wonderful people that are up here with me now. Thank you for your support.
Now I'd like to bring to the microphone another two of this year's recipients, Lizzie Verdugo and Courtney Todd, both of whom represent the students of PCCS.
When I think about this year's SJ5K theme, nothing is out of reach when we come together. I think of how big of a role my support system has played in my staying strong throughout my treatment process. When I was first diagnosed, I felt embarrassed, or that it was my fault somehow. But with the support of my family, friends, and doctors, I realized that being sick is not something to be ashamed of, but it's just part of my journey. To be selected as one of the SJ5K recipients this year opened my eyes to 6 other great families that are experiencing their own challenges, and it showed me even further that I'm not alone. Being a part of this amazing event and seeing all of the support showed me that if you reach out, people are willing to help. This is something that I will always take with me moving forward, and I promise to keep my eyes, my ears, and my heart open for someone who may need my help just like I did, because we all have to remember that we're never alone.
Throughout our community, the SJ5K is known as the Super Jess 5K Charity Run. But for myself and each other recipient here, it means so much more. Personally, each letter and number represents how this organization has affected me. S for support, J for my journey, number 5 in biblical terms means God's grace, and K for kicking cancer. So I am overwhelmed and so very grateful that the community has come together to support my journey with God's grace in kicking cancer. Thank you.
I would now like to say a few words about some of my own personal experiences with the race and what it has meant to me. I remember last summer when I was just starting to fall into my role as student coordinator. I sat down, started looking through some of the work and the documents from old year's student teams, and I remember being really overwhelmed by how much there was and confused by how a lot of it fit together, and a little bit terrified at the prospect that I would have to kind of do all that myself for the 2017 race. At the time, it felt like pulling all of it off successfully wasn't going to happen. I remember in the fall sitting down as the student leadership team for the very first time. I was trying to lead my very first meeting. Some faces were familiar to me, others were not. There were people I didn't know. I was trying to field questions I didn't know the answer to because I too was new at this. And I remember thinking I didn't think it was possible for a brand new group of students to take on such a massive project. And then I remember in winter when we had decided on supporting 7 families in this year's race. And being that in the past, the most we had ever supported as a race was 5 families, 7 was kind of a big jump. I remember all of us on the student team were really stressed out, not sure how we would be able to raise enough money, enough community support, how we were able to truly make the race worthwhile for a whole 7 families. It felt like it was out of reach. But as SJ5K has taught me, nothing is out of reach when we come together. Though I wouldn't say it was easy to get here, as a team, we came together and made today happen. I'm also proud to announce that by coming together this year, we have a record number of sponsors, a record amount of money raised, and as of today, a record number of participants come to Run and Walk. Now, looking back, it doesn't seem so out of reach after all. I would now like to introduce Daphne Barnes, Michelle Wilson, and Jamie Gorguffin, members of this year's recipient families, to read together a poem by Dan Brown. This poem will be read in memory of Ann Slimkowski and Amy Leidenberger, two of our past recipients who have passed away.
We rise together up into the sky. We join together, watch the world pass by. We are together, together as a cloud, standing out to each other in the worldly crowd. We fall together as hard, heavy rain unhitching the ground. We both experience the hard, heavy pain.
We ride the wind together with understandings at the reins. Despite the upset, a bond remains. You are my wind, but together we fly. We're very apart, but together we cry. You will always be in that wind, pushing me high. I will always be that heartache, making you cry.
Together we hurt, and that feeling reigns, each heart being eaten by the love it contains. We'll fall to the ground together, once again as rain, for someone I have found to share my pain. We'll come together once more as a tear-soaked cloud emerge to each other from beneath our shroud. We will rise again together to honor those who have died.
We'll
hold hands together on the path to the sky.
All right, so now is the time for runners in the stands to please start making their way down to the front of the track area slowly and begin stretching. We'll have runners on the right side of the flags and walkers on the left side of the flags. As you do so quietly, our very own choir program will be performing The Greatest by Sia, a song chosen by our student leadership team.
Okay, so we're walkers. Yes.